So 13.3 partial derivative. Let's check the first one. I need to adjust this one. The first question they're going to ask you, we're going to do partial derivative with respect to the x or y. So if you look to the first one, the first question they ask you, explain whatever or not the quotient rule. If you remember, one of the rules to find the derivative is the quotient rule. Can we use the quotient rule to find the derivative with respect to the y, the partial derivative with respect to the y? Here, you can't use the quotient rule. Why? Because we have the y only on the top part. There's no y on the bottom part. That's why we can't use quotient rule to find the derivative. We have to, you can use the quotient rule to find the partial derivative with the x, not with y, because we have x here and x here. So if you have y here, yes, you can use the quotient rule. There's no y on the bottom part. That's why we can't use quotient rule. So the answer, they're just asking you if you can use the quotient rule or no. So this one is no. The answer is going to be y, because y is only on the top part, and that's why we can't use quotient rule to find the partial derivative with respect to the y. Let's start with the second example to find the derivative with respect to the x, then with respect to the y. So the second example, they're telling you f to the xy equal 9x minus 7y plus 6. 9x minus 7y plus 6. Keep in your mind, when you need to find the partial derivative, plus 6. When you need to find the partial derivative with respect to the x, that means y is going to be constant. You're going to deal with y as a constant. When you need to find the partial derivative for y, you're going to deal with x as a constant. So now the first thing, we're going to find the partial derivative with respect to the x. That means all the y's here is going to be constant. So here's 9x. That means the derivative for 9x is going to be 9 minus 7y. Y is a constant. The derivative for the constant is 0. 7 times 0 is going to be 0. And here's a constant is going to be 0. That means the result is going to be 9. So because I need to find the derivative with respect to the x, that means y is going to be constant. The same thing, if you need to find the derivative with respect to the y, the partial derivative with respect to the y, that means x is going to be a constant. That means this one is going to be 0 minus the derivative of 7y is going to be negative 7. And here's a constant is going to be 0. So the result is going to be negative 7. That's it for this one. So the first one is going to be just 9. And the second one is going to be negative 7. That's it for example 2. Let's check the third one. And we're going to find the derivative for the third one. Now we have exponential function. So to find the derivative, it's z equal x e to the xy. So now to find the derivative for the exponential, it's going to be the same function with the derivative with the exponents. So to find the derivative, let's say for 2x, e to the 2x is going to be e to the 2x times the derivative of the exponent, which is 2. Now, our function is xy, the exponent is xy. So I need to find the partial derivative of z with respect to the x. That means it's going to be the same function with the derivative of the exponents, with d over dx to the exponent xy. So it's going to be exy times the derivative. This is a constant. The derivative of x is 1, so the left is going to be just y. That means the result is going to be y e to the xy. So this is for the first one. For the second one, to find the derivative, partial derivative of z with respect to the y is going to be, here is the same function times the derivative of the exponent, d with respect to the y with xy. So it's going to be, here is the function, the derivative of xy with respect to the y. That means this is the constant. So y, the derivative of y is going to be 1, so the left is going to be x. That means this one is going to be equal x e to the exponent xy. Let's check both these. That means the first one is going to be y e to the exponent xy, and here is going to be x e to the exponent xy. That's it for this example. So question 4, our function is f to the xy equal xy divided by x squared plus y squared. Now we need to find the derivative with respect to the first one with x. So f sub x to the xy is going to be, we're going to use the quotient rule. You just have to refresh your memory about the quotient rule, which is going to be the bottom part, x squared plus y squared, times the derivative of here, the derivative of the top part with respect to the x. That's mean the derivative of x is going to be 1 times y, because y is a constant, so it's going to be y, minus the top part times the derivative of x squared plus y squared. We're going to do the derivative with respect to the x. So this one is a 0. That means going to be times 2x. Everything is divided by x squared times plus y squared squared. I'm just using the quotient rule. So f sub x with xy is going to be equal. I'm going to keep this one exactly the same, or you can distribute. So it's going to be x squared y plus y cubed minus 2 x squared y. X squared, 2x squared, and y. And everything is divided by x squared plus y squared squared. Now this one is going to be, we have like terms, x squared y, x squared y. So 1 minus 2, that means going to be y cubed minus x squared y. And everything is divided by x squared plus y squared squared.
Sir?
Also on the record, in case, how we got the derivative of xy here, you can use the chain rule for the xy. You're going to say this is the first one times the derivative of y with respect to the x is 0, plus the second one, which is y, times the derivative of x is 1. That means is going to be 1. Because this is 0, so it'll be y. That's why we got y here. Okay. So this is the result. We're just going to simplify it, and that's what we got. Now, the second part, we're going to do the same thing, but now for the y, with respect to the y. So with respect to the y, is going to be the same thing, the bottom part, which is x squared plus y squared, times now the derivative of xy with respect to the y. So let's do it here on the side. I'm going to use the chain rule. Here's xy. That means it's going to be the first one times the derivative of y is going to be 1, plus the second one times the derivative of x with respect to the y is 0. That's why this is 0, so the left is just x. That means this is times x. Okay? Minus xy, the numerator, times the derivative of x squared plus y squared is going to be just 2y. Because this is now with respect to the y, this is a constant. The derivative of the constant is 0. The derivative of y squared is going to be 2y. And everything is going to be divided by x squared plus y squared squared. Then this is equal f sub y to the xy is going to be equal. Now we're just going to simplify it. I'm going to distribute x. So it's going to be x cubed plus x y squared minus, multiply these two. So it's going to be also minus x 2x y squared, and everything is divided by x squared plus y squared squared. And then the final result is going to be x cubed minus x y squared and divided by x squared plus y squared squared. That's it. Let's check our solutions. So this one is going to be y cubed, y to the power 3, and minus x to the power 2 y. And everything is divided by parentheses here x squared plus y squared, and everything here is out squared. The same thing here. So now it's going to be x cubed minus xy squared, and everything is divided by parentheses x squared plus y squared, and everything is squared. That's it for this example. So let's check how we're going to solve example 5. The derivative for the len is going to be the function 1 over x times the derivative of inside. So let's check first of all. I'm going to, we need to find the derivative first of all for with respect to the x. So g with respect to the x, xy is going to be, what I'm going to do, I'm going to convert this one to exponents half. So it's going to be, the derivative for the len is going to be 1. Let's write down here. If you have to find the derivative of len x is going to be 1 over x and the derivative for x. Okay, so that's what we're going to do here. So now this is the 3 here. The derivative for the len, because x include the len, is going to be 1 over x here, which is the square root of x squared plus y squared times the derivative d over with respect to the x to here, which is, I'm going to write down x squared plus y squared to the half. Okay, so I'm just using the rule. The derivative for the len 1 over x times the derivative of the angle x here. Now, the derivative for this one is going to be, here is equal, here is the 3. Let's do it to 3 over square root of x squared plus y squared times the derivative for this one is going to be half x squared plus y squared minus half times the derivative of inside with respect to the x. So it's going to be 2x. You can do this, it's fine. Now let's just simplify it. So this is the derivative. Now next step, we're just going to, okay, 2x, the derivative for inside, you can write down 2x plus 0. So you're not gonna get confused. Okay, because we're gonna see the derivative of everything inside with respect to the x. That's mean 2x, but the y is a constant, so it's going to be 0. Now just simplify it. This is 2 cancel with this one. So the left here, 3x. I'm going to type here 3x. This is negative half. I can bring it down. It's going to be positive half. So here is square root x squared plus y squared. And here is x squared plus y squared to the half, which is also square root. That means this one is going to be 3x over square root of x squared plus y squared times another square root x squared plus y squared. That means the final result is going to be 3x over, and we're just going to it's going to be x squared plus y squared, because this one times this one is going to be x squared plus y squared. Because half times half, we can multiply because they are the same roots. So everything is going to be inside, like you multiplying square root of 2 times square root of 2 is going to be just 2. That's what we got here. This is only for sub x. So let's type here. The first one is going to be 3x over x squared plus y squared. Oh, I didn't find the second one. Let's find the second one. G sub y to the xy. We're going to do the same thing, but now we're going to do the derivative here with respect to the y. So the derivative for the length, here is the number 3, is going to be 1 over x, which is x squared plus y squared, times the derivative with respect to the y to x squared plus y squared to the half. Now this one is going to be equal 3 over, let's do it to 3 over 3 over square root of x squared plus y squared times the derivative for this one is going to be half x squared plus y squared to the negative half times the derivative of inside is going to be with respect to the y. That means this is 0. So 0 plus 2y. So I'm going to cancel this one with this one, because 0 plus 2y is going to be 2y. So you can cancel 2 with the 2. Bring down this. The exponent is going to be positive. So it's going to be 3y over square root of x squared plus y squared times, I'm going to write down this so you can know it's half, which is the same thing. 3y over square root of x squared plus y squared times x squared plus y squared, and this one is going to be 3y over x squared plus y squared. That's it for this example. Let's check here. So it's going to be 3x over x squared plus y squared. Let's check. What's the wrong thing here? 3y. What I put the 3x? 3y. Okay. Here we go. Now we have z equal cosine 3xy. Let's find the partial derivative of z with respect to the x. That means going to be the derivative for the cosine is going to be negative sine 3xy. If you remember when you took the derivative for cosine and sine, you're going to take the derivative for the cosine, then times the derivative of everything inside. The derivative of everything inside with respect to the x. That's mean with respect to the x, the y is 0. You can do the chain rule. That's mean I need to find the derivative for this one. So it's going to be the first one times the derivative for the y, which is 0, plus the second one, which is y, times the derivative for the 3x is going to be 3. This is 0. That means it's going to be 3y. Okay? You can do that. It's going to be, let's write down this here. So I need to find the derivative of 3xy. That's going to be 3x times the derivative for the y is 0, plus the second one, which is y, times the derivative of 3x is going to be 3. So this is 0. That means the result is going to be 3y negative 3y sine 3xy. That's it for this one. This is the derivative for with respect to the x. We're going to do the same thing. We need to find the partial derivative of z with respect to the y. So it's going to be the same thing. The derivative for cosine is going to be negative sine 3xy times the derivative of everything inside is going to be the first one, which is 3x times the derivative of y is 1, plus the second one times the derivative of 3x. Be careful here, because now we're going to write down 3y. The derivative for just the x is 0 as a constant. If 3x, everything is constant. So it's going to be times 0. You're not going to say 3x, just the 3 is a constant. No, 3, the x also a constant. So 3x, everything is a constant. That means the derivative of 3x with respect to the y is going to be 0. So this is 0. So it's going to be negative 3x sine 3xy. That's it for this one. Let's check both. The first one is going to be negative 3y. Negative 3y sine 3xy. And the second one is going to be negative 3x sine 3xy. Here we go. Then example 7, they're telling you f to the xy equal e to the 9y sine x. E to the 9y, oh, sine x is down. Sine x. Let's find, and the point is pi with 0. So let's find the derivative with respect to the x first, then we're gonna plug in the point. The derivative of f with respect to the x is going to be equal with respect to the x. Okay, so if you're doing the chain rule, because we have this one and this one, is going to be the same thing. This one times the derivative for this one, the second, like the first one times the derivative of this one, then the second one times the derivative for this one. You can use the chain rule, so you're not going to get confused. Let's try to do this one and let's see. Like I'm going to say the first one, because with respect to the x, and I'm going to do the chain rule. Here is the first one times the derivative for the sine x is going to be cosine x plus the second one, which is sine x times the derivative for the first one, which is there is no x here. That means everything here is a constant. So 0. That means here is 0. That's why we have only e 9y sine x. Now let's evaluate f sub x to the point pi and 0 is going to be e 9 times 0 sine pi. E to the 0 sine pi. Now this is equal. E to the 0 is 1. Sine, wait, why I put sine? It's cosine. It's cosine x. Cosine pi. Cosine pi. Okay. So cosine pi is -1. That means the result is going to be -1. We're going to do the same thing, but f to the respect to the y is going to be, now we're going to find the derivative with respect to the y. Let's try also to use the chain rule. That means the first one times the derivative of sine x, everything here is a constant. So it's going to be 0. E to the 9y times 0 plus the second one, which is sine x, times the derivative of e to the 9y is going to be e to the 9y times the derivative of the exponent, which is 9. That's mean this one is going to be equal. This is 0. This is going to be 9 sine x e to the 9y. Next step, we're going to find, evaluate at the point pi with the 0. So it's going to be 9 sine to the pi e 9 times 0. This one is going to be equal 9 sine the pi is 0. E to the 0, and this one is going to be 9, 0 times 1, and it's going to be 0. So this one is going to be -1, and the second one is going to be 0. There we go. So for example 8, to find the derivative with respect to the x and the y, the first thing, I'm just going to give you a hint. You have f to the xy. You can use the chain rule, but first of all, you're going to say 6xy over 7x squared 7x squared plus 2y plus 2y squared to the power half. Then take this one up. So f of xy equal 6xy times 7x squared plus 2y squared to the negative half. So I can use the chain rule on these 7x squared plus 2y squared. Okay, that's me gonna say this one times the derivative for this one plus this one times the derivative for this one, but with respect only for the x, then for the y. Or you're just gonna keep this one and use the quotient rule. So I'm gonna keep this one for you if you want to work on it as a chain rule. I'm gonna use the highest one, which is the quotient rule. So let's use the quotient rule. Again, you can use the chain rule after you convert this one and put it on the top with the negative exponents. So you have to use the chain rule, or you can use the quotient rule. So I'm gonna say here's f to the xy equal, I'm gonna say 6xy over 7 on, I can keep it. Okay, let's do it. 7x squared plus 2y squared to the half. I'm going to use the quotient rule for this one. So I'm going to say f with respect to the x, xy is going to be the bottom part, which is, okay, 7x squared plus 2y squared 1 over 2 times the derivative of the top part. The derivative of the top part is going to be with respect to the x. So 6xy, the derivative of 6xy with respect to the x, that's mean this one is going to be 1. So the result is going to be 6y. Okay, minus this part, which is 6xy, times the derivative of the bottom part, which is half and 7x squared plus 2y squared to the negative half and times the derivative of inside with respect to the x. This is 0, so it's going to be 14x over 7x squared plus 2y squared. This is half. I'm going to square it. So we're just going to cancel this one with this one. So the left is 7x squared plus 2y squared. Now, the next part, I'm going to simplify everything here. So I'm going to say f sub x to the xy is going to be equal. Half, I'm just going to keep this one as a half. So it's going to be 6y 7x squared plus 2y squared to the half. And here we can simplify this one with this one. So it's going to be 7 and 7 here times 6 is going to be 42 x squared y minus 42 x squared y, and here is going to be 7 x squared plus 2y squared to the negative half. And everything is divided by 7x squared plus 2y squared to the exponent 1 now. Now let's look. Can we simplify it more? This is the derivative, okay? So the first thing when they ask you find fx11, you can use this one. You're gonna plug in x1, y1, and then simplify everything. You're gonna get a number. But now let's look, can we simplify this one? Let's try to simplify it more. What I'm going to do, I'm gonna write down this over 1 and this one over 1. So here on this side, f sub x to the xy is going to be, I'm gonna say 6y and 7x squared plus 2y squared to the half, and everything is divided by 7x squared plus 2y squared to the 1. We can simplify these two, minus 42. I'm just trying to simplify it, xy and 7x squared plus 2y squared to the negative half. And everything is divided by 7x squared plus 2y squared. I'm going to keep 1. I'm going to bring this one down. That's going to be positive. Plus 1 is going to be 3 over 2. And bring this one down. That's mean 1 minus half is going to be negative half. So we're going to get here negative half. No, 1 minus half is going to be half, which is this one's square root. This is 1. You can cancel it. So f sub x to the xy is going to be equal. Here is just 6y over, I'm writing down everything. So you're going to get the whole steps. X squared plus 2y squared 1 and times 7x squared plus 2y squared to the half. And everything here is minus. The same thing here, I'm going to say 42, sorry. 4 over is going to be 7x squared plus 2y squared, and here 7x squared plus 2y squared to the half, 1 over 2. Now let's simplify this one. This one is going to be 6y divided by, this one is going to be, it's negative half. So add these together, because when you multiply the same base, exponent rule, you're going to add the exponents. So 6y, this one is going to be 7x squared plus 2y squared to the half minus 42x squared y over the same thing here. This is 1 plus 2. So 1 plus half, that's mean 2 over 2 plus half is going to be 3 over 2. So here is 7x squared plus 2y squared to the 3 over 2. Let's check what I'm going to do next. If I can factor out from the top 6y, and from the bottom I can factor out. So from the top I can factor out 6y, and from the bottom I can factor out this, because the left on this side is going to be 1. That means 7x squared plus 2y squared. Okay, so we can factor out 7x squared plus 2y squared to the 3 over 2 was the left. That means everything here, I'm going to factor it out. From the top, here is going to be the left is 7x squared plus 2y squared to the 1. Okay, and from this side, the left is going to be minus 7x, because we took the y out, so 7x squared. So now this one is going to be here. This is 1, so we can cancel this one with this one. Now the left here is just 2y squared times 6y squared. So it's going to be 12. 2 times 6 is 12y cubed. Because I can simplify these over. And here is 7x squared plus 2y squared to the 3 over 2. Okay, let's check this one if we have mistakes so we can fix it before we start plugging. 12. So 12y cubed and over parentheses is going to be 7x squared plus 2y squared, and everything here to the power 3 over 2. Oops. 3 over 2. Is that a 3? Let's check before moving on. Here we go. We're going to do the same steps with respect to the y. So I have to keep this one because I'm going to go ahead and plug in. And we can plug in this one, find f sub x to the 1, 1. We can do that here. So I'm going to say f sub x to the 1, 1. That's mean is going to be equal 12 times 1 cubed over here is going to be 7 times 1 squared plus 2, 1 squared, and everything to the 3 over 2. So this one is going to be here is 12, and here is going to be 7 plus 2 to the power 3 over 2. So it's going to be 12 over 9 to the 3 over 2. That's mean you're going to say square root of 9 cubed. So it's going to be 12 over 9, which is 12 over 8, because 9, square root of 9 is going to be 3, cubed is going to be 27. By 3, so it's going to be 4 over 9. Let's check that. Because here, what I did, this is a root. So square root for 7 plus 2, which is 9. The square root of 9 is going to be 3 cubed. 3 cubed is going to be 27. 27, you can simplify it with the 12. That means here is going to be 4 over 9. 4 divided by 9. This is for the sub x. Now we're going to do the same steps, but with respect to the y. Here we go. So now we're going to find the derivative with respect to the y. So f sub y to the xy is going to be the same thing, the 7x squared plus 2y squared times the derivative of the top part, which is with respect to the y, so it's going to be 6x. So here times 6x minus 6xy times the derivative of the bottom part is going to be half 7x squared plus 2y squared to the negative half times the derivative of everything inside here, which is with respect to the y, so it's going to be 4y because the x is constant and everything is divided by 7x squared plus 2y squared half and squared. Cancel these, so we're just going to get 1. That means f sub y to the xy is going to be equal 6x and here 7x squared plus 2y squared minus, simplify the 4 with this one is going to be 2. 2 times 6 is going to be minus 12 x y squared. And here is 7x squared plus 2y squared to the negative half. And everything is divided by 7x squared plus 2y squared because it's going to be to the exponent 1. Then I'm going to separate these two, f sub y to the xy is going to be 6x. I forgot the half here. Half with this one is going to be half on the bottom, so 6x over 7x squared plus 2y squared to the half. And everything here is minus. The same thing here, bring this one down. So it's going to be 12xy squared over 7x squared plus 2y squared to the 3 over 2. Because half is going to be positive, plus 1 is going to be 3 over 2. I just did a shortcut because it's exactly the same steps from the previous one for f sub x. Now f sub y to the xy is going to be equal 6x. We're gonna factor out from these together, which is 6x from here, 6x from here. And from the bottom part, I'm gonna factor out this one. So it's going to be here 6x. And from here, I'm gonna factor out 7x squared plus 2y squared to the 3 over 2. The left is going to be, from this one, is going to be 7x squared plus 7x squared plus 2y squared. And from here, because now if you multiply this one times this one, this is for exponent 1. That means 1, bring it down, so it's going to be 3 over 2 minus 1 is going to be half. Okay, so And from this side, the left is going to be on the top, which is minus 2y squared. Because we're going to factor out 6x, the left is 2y squared. That's mean here is going to be 6x over 7x squared plus 2y squared to the 3 over 2. And here is 7x squared plus 2y squared minus 2y squared. Cancel these. 7 times 6, so it's going to be 42x cubed over 7x squared plus 2y squared to the 3 over 2. Let's check this one first. Then we're going to plug in. So the first thing is going to be, I'm talking about here. It's 42x cubed. So 42x cubed over, we're going to open parentheses. There's going to be 7x squared plus 2y squared, 2y squared, and everything to the exponents, 3 over 2, 3 over 2. And let's check this one. And then the last thing, we're going to find f sub y to the 0.11. If this one is right, yep, it's right. So that means I'm just going to plug in 42 1 cubed divided by 7 1 squared plus 2 1 squared to the 3 over 2. So it's going to be 42 divided by 7 plus 2 to the 3 over 2, which is also 42 divided by 9 to the power 3 over 2. The same thing, simplify this one, it's 42 over 9, which is the square root of 9 cubed. That means it's going to be 42 over 3 cubed. So it's going to be 42 over 27. You can simplify it by 3. Can we? 42, because by 6, that means by 3 is going to be 14, because 2 times 7. So that means it's going to be 14 over 9. That means this one is going to be 14 divided by 9. Wow, we got it. So 9 is going to be f to the x, y, z. So now we have f to the x and y and z equal 4x squared y, 4x squared y, and minus 5xyz minus 5xyz, and plus 10 yz squared, yz squared. Okay, let's find the first thing with respect to the x. So f sub x is going to be equal, again, with respect to the x, that means y and z are constant. So with respect to the x for this one is going to be y is constant, that means 0. So here, if you want to do the chain rule here, it's fine. So it's going to be 8x minus this one with respect to the x. So y and z are constant, This is 1, so it's going to be negative 5 yz. Negative 5 yz. If you want to check that, you can do the chain rule here. Plus, for this one, there is no x, so everything here is 0. That means f sub x is going to be 8x minus 5yz. Let's check f sub y, the second one. Now with respect to the y. With respect to the y, that means x is constant. So to find the derivative for this one is going to be 1. The left is going to be 4x squared. Do we have something wrong here? We said with respect to the x, so it's going to be 4x, 8x squared, and y. Okay. So here is a y also. Now with the second one, for respect to the y, I'm doing the derivative with respect to the y. So that means the derivative of y is going to be 1. So it's going to be 4x squared. That means this is a constant. The derivative of y is 1. Constant times 1 is going to be the constant. Minus the derivative for the y. So x is z. That means negative 5xz. And the derivative for the y is going to be 10z squared. So plus 10z squared. We done it from this one. F with respect to the z is going to be, this is 0. With this one is going to be negative 5xy. And for this one with the z, so it's going to be 20z and keep the y. So plus 20yz. That's it. We done it from these. Do they ask us to just type it? That's it. So the first one is 8xy, 8xy minus 5z minus 5yz. yz. And the second one is 4x squared and minus 5xz and plus 10z squared. And the third one is going to be negative 5xy and plus 20yz. Yz. Let's check. You can just simplify it here is negative 5xy plus 20yz as a solution, and this one is 4x squared minus 5xz plus 10z squared. Here we go. That's it for example 9. Let's check example 10. Also, example 10, they're telling you find, here is f of x. F sub x is going to be 0 and f sub y equal 0. Now we need to find the value of x and y. This is nice question. So we have the function f to the xy equal x squared minus xy plus y squared minus 11x, yeah, plus y. So here's the function. Then f sub x is going to be 2x minus, for this one, you can do the chain rule if you want with x. So it's going to be x with this one, that's mean x times 0, plus the second one times the derivative for the first one is going to be y. But here's the thing. Be careful also when you're doing the chain rule, you're going to put parentheses. Because negative sign out, I'm doing the chain rule for this one. A plus, the derivative for this one is 0. The derivative for this one is going to be 11. The derivative for this one is going to be 0. That means the result is going to be 2x minus y minus 11 is going to be, that's it, 2x minus y minus 11. F sub y to the x, y is going to be, this is 0 minus, we're going to do the same thing here, but with respect to the y. So the first one times the derivative is going to be 1 plus the second one times the derivative, this one is 0. A plus the derivative for y squared is 2y minus the derivative for everything here is 0 plus 1. The derivative of y is 1. So this one is going to be negative x, because this is 0. 1 second. This one, oh yeah, the second one times, yeah, that's right. Plus 2y plus 1, that's it. They're telling you f sub x equals 0, f sub y equals 0. That means I already have f sub x equal 2x minus y minus 11. And f sub y equal negative x plus 2y plus 1. This is 0. That means 0 equal 2x minus y minus 11. And this one is 0. So it'll be negative x plus 2y plus 1. Now we need to solve this system. I have system of 2 equations. I need to solve this one. I'm going to multiply this one by 2. So the first equation is going to be 0 equal 2x minus y minus 11. And the second one, 0 equal negative 2x plus 4y plus 2. Now, by elimination, this is canceled. So what we got here, we have 0 equal 3. Negative 1 plus 4 is going to be 3y minus 9. That's mean 3y equal 9. So y is going to be equal 3. Y equal 3. Let's check that. Did we do something wrong? We multiply by 2. Negative 9. Multiply by 2, so it's going to be negative 2. This one by 2 is going to be 4. This one by 2 is going to be 2. And then this one is going to be 3y minus 9. I don't think so. I can see there's something wrong. Just want to make sure. Now y equal 3. Let's plug in this one in one of these equations. I'm going to plug in with the second one. So negative x plus 2 times y is 3 plus 1 equals 0. That's mean negative x plus 6 plus 1 equals 0. So x is going to be equal 7. That's mean x is 7 and y is 3. Let's check what we have here. X is 7, y is 3. No, that's it. Let's go to the next one. Question 11, we have f to the x, y equal x squared. I think it's exactly the same thing. X squared plus 3xy plus y squared minus 24 plus y squared minus 24x minus 26y plus 19 minus 26y plus 19. So we're gonna do exactly the same thing. We need to find the value of xy. So f sub x to the xy is going to be, this is 2x plus, do the chain rule here. So with respect to the x, here is the first one. The second one is 0 plus the second one times the derivative of the first one, 3. So it's going to be 3y. 3y. Plus, this is 0 minus 24 minus 0 plus 0. That's mean f sub x is going to be 2x plus 3y, because this is 0, minus 24. Now f sub y to the xy is going to be equal. This is 0 plus, do the chain rule if you want here, 3x times the derivative for the y is 1, plus the second one times the derivative for the 3x is 0, plus the derivative of y squared is 2y, minus negative 24x is 0, minus 26, because the y is 1, plus 0. So f sub y is going to be equal 3x plus 2y minus 26. Now f sub x and f sub y is zeros. So the first one is going to be 0 equal 2x plus plus 3y minus 24. And the second one is 0 equal 3x plus 2y minus 26. Now we have to solve this system. Which one are you going to cancel? Both. You have to multiply both by the opposite sign. So we're going to multiply this one. Do we have something wrong? Let's check. Because if we multiply, yeah, because if you, this is going to be 9, which is different than this one. Okay, and multiply this one by, okay. So if you multiply this one by 3 and this one by 2, is going to be 6x plus 9y is going to be equal 24. Negative 24 by 3 is going to be 72, which is negative. Wait. Minus 72 equals 0. And the second one by 2 is going to be 6. And this one is going to be 4. And this one is going to be 26. 26 by 2 is going to be 52. So minus 52 equals 0. This one you can multiply by the negative. That means this is cancelled. So 9 minus 4 is going to be 5y. And 72 minus 52 is going to be negative 20 equals 0. That means 5y is going to be equal to 20. Divide by 5. So y is going to be equal to 4. Plug in one of these. 0 equal 2x plus 3 times 4 minus 24. 0 is going to be equal to 2x plus 12 minus 24. 0 is going to be 2x minus 12. And here is going to be 2x equal to 12. That means x is going to be equal to 6. So it's going to be 6 and 4. So 6, 4. Here we go. That's it. The last one is just true and false. They ask you, let f of x, y equal times y, then f sub x is supposed to be like this one. True or false? So go ahead and do this function, find the f sub x to the function. It's supposed to be get like this one. If not, you're gonna get false. That's it for